holidaying down the Great Ocean Road and you love food and wine, Bray Restaurant is a must.
It's one of Australia's best restaurants.
It is also ranked in the top 100 restaurants of the world. Intolerant Cooks is all about having respect for your product and where you're sourcing your product and how you're using produce. I think Dan Hunter, he's really strived to shop local, to grow local, and I think he's doing an excellent job. So I can't wait for you to meet him.
I can't wait to meet him either. Hang on.
I think it's just up here on the right. Can't wait.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Well, I knew I'd find you in the garden bed, Dan.
Hey, Karen, how are you?
Great. How are
Nice to see
you?
you. Good,
Great
thanks.
to see you.
How's things?
Really well.
G'day.
This is
Richard.
Richard.
Oh, Richard, how are you?
Pleased to meet you.
You too.
We just absolutely love your place. This
Yeah,
is
thanks.
extraordinary.
So that puts another spin on Veggie Patch.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah,
this is where
just
it
a
starts.
small patch.
Just a small
Small
one.
patch.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a fair-sized patch for what we do anyway.
Dan, seasonality is important to all chefs, but I think to you it's especially important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's no point having a small farm if you don't grow all your own food, you know. And we obviously buy some from other people as well, but I really try and work with the bounty of what we can produce and really try and translate the day and the season into the plate or into the food that appears on the plates every night.
Dan, I understand that you're farming organically here, 100%, and I just want to get a sense of how difficult that is.
What's difficult is the time it takes and the care that's required. When you're trying to instill care in the hands of the chefs, how they handle the product, I mean, they all spend every day out here.
There would be nothing better than making them pick it.
Yeah. Our kitchen, our work, our mise en place, it starts here. We have a meeting every single night to discuss the next day's menu, and we go through absolute portion control, and it's like we need 7 cucumbers only of these varieties and don't pick any more, you know. We make very little waste, and I'm quite proud of that, actually, but that's because everyone's connected to where the food's coming from.
So, yeah, so the pantyhose. What's the fruit in the pantyhose?
The pantyhose, they're a type of melon. Bull d'Or, that variety of melon is, so it's, yeah, an heirloom French variety, super sweet. And we do that to keep the melons off the ground and keep the strain off the plants while they're growing.
Does it keep the pests out as well?
Oh, I wish it did.
That's what I thought it was in the first
I wish it did. I mean, look, you can say...
Pantyhose never keeps the pests
No,
out.
it hasn't so far.
Dan, it's been fabulous being here. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for visiting.
Better let you get back to the
pleasurable.
kitchen.
I do. I do have to get back to the kitchen. All right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Wow, how knowledgeable is he?
Extraordinarily
Amazing.
so.
After talking to Dan and seeing such a beautiful garden, I've been inspired to cook a roast vegetable salad with goat's cheese. I'm going to finish it off with a cranberry glaze.
Divine.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll need to forage around and find you a few greens, so I'll see you
That
a
would
bit
be
later
great.
on.
Thank you.
See you up there.
Okay.
When you said I'd find you near the kitchen, I didn't think you'd be this close.
I had to start my dish. I'm making a roast vegetable salad with goat's cheese, and we're going to have a cranberry glaze over the top of it.
Beautiful.
A bit of a play on a pomegranate syrup, so it's FODMAP friendly, this one, so we're going to use cranberries.
Sounds delicious,
Yeah.
Rich.
So
do you want me
if-
to give you a hand
could you
with
do that?
anything?
That would be everything.
Everything? Okay. I love the way you've cut that eggplant really thick. It's still got like the meatiness inside.
We're going to have a few bits of zucchini, but I chose those to go on last.
Would you like me to
hoping
grill
that you
those?
would get here.
Yeah.
So a little bit of coconut oil over that. Nice to barbecue with.
Salt.
A bit of salt.
And what have you got there?
This is harissa powder.
That'll work well with
Yep.
the sweet, sour tartness of the cranberry
So I'm going to
glaze.
start my wonderful glaze, which, you know, I'm really excited by this because I actually love pomegranate syrup, but FODMAP people, they can't actually have pomegranates. So I sort of put my mind to it, and I actually came up with the idea that I could use cranberries. So we're going to use a litre of, like, fresh, cold-pressed, 100% cranberry juice. So this is not reconstituted, it's 100%.
And you literally spice it up.
So spice it up. So we've got a few cardamom pods, so maybe 4 cardamom pods. A couple of those. And star anise, lovely sort of
Licorice or anise, yes.
Yeah, anise. So 2 of those.
I think that'll work really well with the
Yeah.
tartness of the cranberry juice.
Yeah. And all we do is we actually reduce that by 2/3. Okay, how are you going there, Karen?
I'm done.
All right, you're done. So
I'm going
this is
to-
reduced by half.
Yes?
Look at that. So at this point, I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup and a little bit of freshness. So I'm going to add a little bit of lemon.
Now, I'm just arranging the vegetables. Is that...
That's cool.
Yep.
So basically,
You want a few herbs in there?
yeah, I want a few herbs, a little bit of Meredith dairy goat's cheese.
In here too?
Yep, just
Yeah.
over the top.
I'm just building some layers here
Yeah.
for you, Rich.
Yeah, lovely. Look at that. I always thought that something was missing from this, and it's like that deep, sort of rich, sort of Middle Eastern Moroccan flavour.
Exotic.
Exactly,
An
the
exotic touch. Did you
And
want?
I sort of figured out that if I put a few drops of rose water into each tablespoon, then that gives it that little bit of background that it needed. It was just, it was a sort of, it was a little bit of a
sounds
game,
really
games
lovely.
changer.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to taste it, Rich. It will really play beautifully against the charred characters of the vegetables.
Okay, so I'm going to do nuts now.
You are nuts.
You are nuts. You are
I'm nuts.
No. She's wonderful. Trust me. Adding another nutritional element to it, which is sesame seeds and sunflower seeds.
The final ingredient that needs to go on there is that gorgeous glaze of yours. Yes.
Now I want you to have a little bit of taste. What do you reckon's in there? How many tablespoons?
That's around 200 mils of liquid.
She didn't answer the question.
No, I did.
Did you? What about
Tablespoons. Okay, there's 20 mils, there's 5, so it's 10 tablespoons.
All right. And to 200 mils of liquid, I'm going to add about.
I thought you were going to give me medicine.
No, this is my little bit of alchemy. So
Do you find if you add too much rose water, it goes a bit nana?
Yeah. I've worked out this. Trust me. So let's have a little bit of taste.
That's divine.
Thank you.
Not
All right.
nana at all. And my love of olive oil is just calling out here. Do you want me to drizzle some
absolutely,
over
yeah.
as well?
This recipe is low lactose, FODMAP friendly, and it's my wonderful barbecued vegetable salad with Meredith dairy goat's cheese and my wonderful cranberry syrup.
And for this glorious recipe of Richard's and every other recipe we do on the series, head to intolerantkooks.com.au and you will find the recipe. Well, while Rich goes and finds a lovely place to picnic, I'm going to get on to my dish, which is a butterfly chicken with a tomato, shallot and fresh herb vinaigrette. Got a delicious free-range Bannockburn chicken, but you'll need a large knife and the chicken and a chopping board, and you literally come up inside the chicken and push it all the way up the backbone on one side like this. And then you repeat on the other side. And then it's just a matter of turning the chicken over and the backbone's removed. And then it's literally flattening the chicken a little bit. You can cut off these wing tips, just the very tip of the wing, like that. I wouldn't throw this away. Either bag it and throw it in the freezer for a stock later, or I put it straight into a pot on the stove, throw a chunk of onion in, maybe some garlic or celery, carrots, a few herbs, cover it with cold water, and then bring it to the simmer. An hour and a half later, you've got a really light, delicious chicken stock. Now, because we're barbecuing the chicken, I'd like to remove these little ribs here. Just makes it easier to eat later. And I'd also like to expose the bones of the chicken a little bit. Because often when you barbecue a chook, especially when it's whole, some parts of the chicken take a lot longer to cook. But if you run your knife down the side of the bone like this, the drumstick takes the longest, you'll find you'll also decrease the cooking time. To remove these little bones here, you're just clicking through them like that, or you could use some kitchen scissors at this point as well. In the other area of the chicken that cooks a little unevenly is where it's thick up here where the wings meet the breasts. If you actually just put your knife through the joint here, and again on the other side, it'll cook a lot faster. And now this chicken is almost ready to barbecue. Now you can do this if you like, just slash the chicken a little bit. It's more for the look of the chicken rather than the cooking technique. It also allows the vinaigrette or the sauce I'm making to be absorbed by the chicken. Next, oil and season the chicken. Just a little bit of oil. If you put too much oil on the chicken and you throw it on the barbecue, especially one with live coals, you'll end up with a big flame. That's not what we're trying to do. Some salt, pepper. And a recent discovery of mine, potatoes work beautifully on the barbecue or a charcoal grill. And you literally need to grab your tatey and just slice yourself some slices like this, and then oil them up and grill them off. They probably take almost as long as the chicken, but the flavour is delicious. Okay. Now this chicken will work on a normal barbecue as well. Just char grill the chicken about 15 to 20 minutes on each side, and then turn the barbecue off and let it rest for 10 minutes, and that chicken will be done. When you're cooking on charcoal though, it's a whole different story. You have to temper the coals and shift the chicken around a little bit possibly, but the flavour is well worth it. Let's see how I go. The char grill's ready to go. Literally pick the chicken up and skin side down on the grills. And then drop on the potatoes around the chicken. The chicken will need around 20 minutes on this side and another 20 to 25 on the other side, and then a 10-minute rest. Oh, Rich, I thought I'd never find you. Such a large property.
Look at this.
Awesome spot.
Wow.
And didn't this Bannockburn chicken grill up a treat?
I can't wait for that.
Not eating it yet. We need to make a quick vinaigrette that's full flavoured.
Yeah.
I've got some tomato here. There's 1 tin of crushed tomatoes, reduced down, thick and rich.
Beautiful.
Also adding some freshly chopped shallots. These are raw.
Okay.
And they just spike this vinaigrette beautifully. If you didn't want to go the shallots, you could probably use some celery, finely diced.
Nice.
1 tiny little clove of garlic.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, look, it's punchy. Adding these 2 things raw really do accentuate the tomato. Next in with some Worcestershire sauce. Great salty, earthy kick. I'm also going to add some always fresh white wine vinegar. And this will soften the shallots and garlic and also lift the tomato.
Nice.
Black pepper, generous amount. Some extra virgin oil.
See, that looks fantastic.
And a tablespoon or so of always fresh capers. Now they're a large caper I've just chopped up and they'll just disintegrate into the dressing. And then juice of half a lemon. So the vinegar, the lemon, all working on the shallots and garlic. I like a little of your thyme there, if you could.
There we are.
Let's just pull some off the stem. So just simply stir this through the vinaigrette.
So I would never have guessed to do something like that over a simple barbecue chicken.
Well, it's hot now, and once you pour on this dressing, the chicken is just going to absorb all of those flavours. And even though you think it can't get much better than it is straight off the grill,
It does look great.
it can. And Richard, I suppose the biggest tip I can give you,
Yeah.
and everyone else, is to get this dressing onto the chicken while it's still hot. I think this dressing would also be fabulous over a butterflied leg of lamb, but the chicken is my favourite, I suppose. And
Fantastic.
I did a little bit of foraging on the way. I think you just dress this up beautifully with a few nasturtium flowers and leaves. They have a really beautiful peppery flavour. So,
I do like nasturtium leaves.
well, that is a barbecued butterfly chicken served with tomato, caper and shallot vinaigrette. For this recipe and every other one we do on the show, head to intolerantkooks.com.au. Are you a leg or a breast man?
Today,
I've been dying to ask that question.
I will take thigh. story goes in our family that we flipped the gender around and my mother became a really, really famous Australian golfer legend. And my father was a stay-at-home husband.
But he loves ricotta, doesn't he?
Absolutely loves ricotta. Has got his Italian heritage, and he would make this every Sunday religiously at 2:01.
And it's very easy to do yourself, I find. But it is very difficult to find lactose-free ricotta on the market.
So that's what we're going to make today. We're going to make you a beautiful lactose-free ricotta. 2 litres of milk. Very nice lactose-free Liddell's milk. Always great TV, entering a litre of milk.
Would you prefer the lactose-free cow?
Absolutely. Standing there, we could do this. Straight into the bowl.
2nd litre of milk.
2nd litre of milk.
We're looking to yield around 400 grams of ricotta from this mix.
Okay, and 400 mils of cream.
So, Rich, I'm thinking we have to add something that's going to allow the curds to form.
Okay, and that would be the juice of 1 lemon, and we're also going to add a little pinch of salt. There we are.
Bring it to the simmer quite gently over medium heat, and the curds will naturally come to the surface. Don't stir the pot. Then it's just a matter of lifting the curds out and laying them into a strainer, and then lay some clean cloth inside. This could be a Chuck's cheesecloth or muslin.
So that's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes till the curds come and float to the surface. So while that's going, we're going to make our spiced apricot syrup. So we've got 200 mils of honey.
Into a clean pan or pot.
All right, so we've got to throw in some beautiful spice. So I've got some lovely star anise, so 2 of those. 6 cardamom pods, which I'm going to gently bruise.
Rich, I think you should put some vanilla in. The vanilla bean itself has so much flavour. And just cut it on the angle and you'll get those as thin as you can, like this. And you get these gorgeous shards of black vanilla through the syrup. It's very attractive.
Okay. A little bit of lemon and orange. So I'm going to do a very thin peel.
Adding the lemon and the orange rind will just really perfume the honey with citrus.
All right, so what I want to happen is I want all those flavours to infuse the honey.
Yeah. So bring it to the simmer for a couple of minutes and then add some lemon juice and orange juice. And this will give us a really fragrant citrus syrup.
Okay.
So you'll need around 250 grams of Angus Park apricots. And what have you done with these, Rich?
I've just put them in hot water just to plump them up just that little bit before you put them in the sugar syrup.
That's a really great tip to get things moving quite quickly and to reconstitute dried fruit. Rich, the apricots look divine. They just need to cook for another 2 minutes, and then I think just turn off the heat and let them sit in the poaching liquid to take on more flavour.
Absolutely. So I think that our curds are ready. Look at this, Karen. I think it's worked. Golden moment.
Okay. And then it's just a matter of scooping the curd very gently into the sieve. Just like that.
Here we are.
Literally what you do now is just bring the cloth together really gently, pop it into the fridge for an hour, and what you'll end up with is fresh ricotta.
A moment of truth.
That's fabulous. So you're doing something quite special with the ricotta today.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break it up just into large
Chunks.
chunks.
So dressing with a little coconut oil,
Yep.
and I reckon a smattering of flaked almonds would be perfect, Rich. And then into a preheated oven at 200 degrees for what, 20, 25 minutes?
Or until what we say,
Golden.
golden brown.
Rich, I really want to show off your apricots. Can we put them into this dish?
Yes.
And you'll be able to see all of the ingredients that you've used quite beautifully. Look at that.
Yeah. You're gonna
It smells heavenly.
There's something sort of like an incense about it because I think that's because of the honey. And these vanilla, you can see the rind, cardamom.
Rich, can you smell the toasted almonds?
I can smell the toasted almonds.
You're rich.
Okay. Ooh, lovely, soft, toasted.
Beautiful landscape on that ricotta.
All right, so here we go. This is our little crown to the whole dish, is our beautiful spiced apricot citrus syrup. So you want all those...
Ooh, and then the ricotta acts like a sponge and just takes on the citrus honey syrup. Punctuated with vanilla, anise, cardamom, and you can hear it sizzling. I think that looks fabulous. If you hit the table with that dish as a dessert at the end of a special dinner,
Look at this.
or a not so special dinner even,
Look at that.
this dish could be on the table at Brayrich.
It could be.
I think you've
Should be.
outshone yourself.
It should be. You know, if we grew the apricots ourselves and had all of that, that is perfect.
Delicious.
So there we have our baked lactose-free ricotta with our citrus-spiced apricots. Delicious. What do you reckon?
Perfecto.
Perfecto? Should we eat?